The following content may contain visuals that are disturbing, graphic, or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This material is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Please exercise caution while watching, and if you find such content distressing, we recommend discontinuing viewing. This disclaimer is provided to ensure awareness and to prioritize viewer well-being.
More than 130 hostages are still trapped in Gaza, and the death toll in Gaza is mounting. The question on everyone's mind is, how much longer is this war likely to last, and has Israel managed to achieve its primary objectives in the war so far?
I think that from the beginning of the campaign, we set forward our targets, and we are very consistent about them. There were two main targets. One is making sure that Hamas will not be able to attack again, and this is by destroying its power and its rule in Gaza. And the second one is bringing back the hostages. So we achieved part of both. And we are very much determined to achieve all, meaning that we have to get to the leadership of Hamas. We have to get rid of them. There are thoughts that maybe we already hit yesterday one of the big rulers or leaders of Hamas. Over the time, we killed a lot of their field commanders, a lot of their terrorist organization, more than 10,000 people, according to our estimation, many more probably. And we do every day. We have these skirmishes and attacks, and we go underground and above ground. So we are there. Also, about 100 hostages were released. Also, we are there. We are continuing in the path of achieving both targets.
Are you confirming to us, Ambassador, that the number 2 Hamas leader has been killed?
I cannot confirm because Israel is checking.
Okay.
He was targeted by us, but it was underground tunnel. So still looking, you have to find the body.
Yes.
To make sure that the person is dead. In the past, we attacked places, and at the end, we found out that people were still alive. So we are very cautious from assuming or saying that for sure when we are not sure about it yet.
Okay, since we are talking about fighting Hamas militarily, and Israel has said from the beginning we want to break the back of Israel by going after Hamas by going after its military infrastructure. I want to quote to you a report that was submitted in the US Congress yesterday. It's the US intelligence community report, which talks about the role of Prime Minister Netanyahu, and I'll come to that in a moment. But before that, I want to quote the part of the report which says Israel will struggle to defeat Hamas militarily, and I'm quoting them here. Israel probably will face lingering armed resistance from Hamas for years to come, and the military will struggle to neutralize Hamas's underground infrastructure, which allows insurgents to hide, regain strength, and surprise Israeli forces. This is the assessment of the US intelligence as per a report submitted in the US Congress. Your thoughts on this?
So first of all, it's very hard to fight a terror organization that is hiding behind its own population and under its own population. We have here a complex war that I think that no military in the world has confronted in the past, because we have 600 kilometers of underground tunnels where the Hamas terrorists and leadership and probably holding the hostages, all are there. So we have a dual war. We have a war above ground and underground. It is complicated. It is very hard because we don't want to have too many civilian casualties to minimize it. We do it very surgically, very slow, going down. We cannot now, if we find the shaft of a tunnel, we cannot blow it up because we are afraid that there will be hostages there. So we have to go in and physically check it before we can take action. It's very lengthy. It's very slow, but we are there in the direction because we have no alternative. I remind you that bigger armies than Israel try to fight in Afghanistan and in Iraq, and it's always hard to fight terrorists that are among civilian population. But we are doing it, and we are determined, because unlike others who went to fight them overseas, far away from home, for us it's home. The attack was on home. So we are fighting really for the home. That's why the motivation in Israel is so high. Yeah, it will take time, It's not going to happen in one day, but since we have no alternative, we are very much determined to win this war.
So if US intelligence assessment is that you could be fighting Hamas for years to come, does that mean this war could go on for years? What is your assessment?
No, I don't think that they were speaking of full-fledged war for years. You will have a guerrilla, probably, like we have today.
But Prime Minister Netanyahu has said the war will not be over till we've achieved complete victory over Hamas. What does that mean?
No, I think that once we get the leadership of Hamas and we are comfortable that we will not kill until the last terrorist. Okay, it's very hard to find them. They are mingling, they're going back to their homes and playing civilian, as if they are regular civilians. So we want to kill or to destroy most of the military infrastructure that they have and their leadership, who are also the people who planned and perpetrated October 7 attack on civilian population in Israel. So this is the aim. I'm not sure, I don't think that anyone is saying we will fight until we find the last terrorist.
But is there a timeline, Ambassador?
I don't know. The timeline is achieving the targets. For us, the timeline is the minute where we feel that we have neutralized most of the risk or all the risk for attacks into Israel and that we have hostages back. This is, for us, the timeline is success. We cannot define it in military terms. And again, also today in Judea and Samaria, where we are present, we have from time to time terrorists. It's not that still also there, but we know how to deal with it when there is no huge infrastructure behind them of a military-like infrastructure like Hamas has.
So, you just referred to this, Ambassador. From the beginning, it's been said by Israel that one of the primary objectives of this war is to secure the safe release of all the hostages.
Yes.
More than 100 still remain in Gaza. Now, Hamas says that it seems like Israel is simply not interested in a ceasefire.
I think that it was very evident that the Americans, who are trying to be the go-betweens, said very clearly that Hamas is not interested. Hamas, as from day one, and from history also before October 7, they never cared about their own population. They don't care about people being able to celebrate the Ramadan in a dignified and normal way. And they are trying to use, because during Ramadan, usually in the Muslim world, the emotions are very high. It's a very emotional period. So they hope what they failed to do to get a full intervention of everyone around. I mean, Israel